This is Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in Carnegie, which is a game that's currently on Kickstarter and also already on Board Game Arena. The designer and publisher, I think, did a very interesting strategy in getting this game on Board Game Arena in advance or aligned with the Kickstarter campaign so people can play it and decide if they want the tabletop version. Carnegie is a game where you're essentially building your own factory, your own business, and determining how that business impacts the United States. And there are two mechanisms in the game that I thought were really, really clever. One is you're making these different, you're basically adding rooms to your factory, you're building your business here. And they're a little hard to see on this image that I'm holding up at the screen, but each of the rooms that you add has a different symbol at the top, which corresponds to, I believe, one of 4 different actions. And over the course of the game, in fact, so there are 4 different rooms here. These 2 symbols are the same. And over the course of the game, you're going to be activating, you're going to be kind of taking different actions. I say kind of because sometimes you'll be the one to take the action. Sometimes another player will say, I want to take this action, but all players get to do that. And when they do so, you get to activate all rooms that correspond with that action if they have a worker in them. So kind of 2 different things going on here. One, I like that you're activating more than one thing at the same time. So you can build a little bit of an engine here where you maybe have more than one of a couple different types of rooms so that if you choose the action or if another player chooses an action, you get to benefit from it several different times. But also that's tied to worker placement. And so you need to make sure, and it's more worker movement, you're moving these workers around your building. You need to make sure there are workers actually in that room when they're activated so that you can gain the activation benefits. I think that is really clever. The other mechanism that I really enjoy about Carnegie is the goal system, the end of game objective and goal system. There are a bunch of different goals here on the board, different categories of goals. One is mostly kind of just straight up victory points. One looks at the number of rooms that you have of a certain type. One looks at this map down here, things like that, different sets of goals. And over the course of the game, at different times, you will have the opportunity to place one of your tokens on one of these goals that's not occupied by another player. And I like this on a couple different levels. One, I like that you know that at certain points in the game, you're going to have a chance to put a token here if you have a certain amount of money. And that money, that cost scales up over the course of the game, kind of like in Clans of Caledonia. So you have to be prepared to actually pay for your way into these goals. The other thing I like, though, is that you can see all of them at every game. They don't change from game to game. So you can see all these goals that are there. As far as I know, they don't change. All these goals are always here, and you pretty much have a very diverse array of strategies that you can pursue over the game. But over the course of the game, as you and other opponents, or really as opponents take these goals, you have more direction. Okay, well, they took that goal, so I shouldn't focus on that as much anymore. I should focus on these other things that could be available. And you're doing the same thing to your opponents. It's a nice form of player interaction that you are removing things that your opponents could have, and you are getting more and more focused on the things that you need to pursue. And they're all out there. They're all displayed. I don't know, just a really nice form of player interaction, I think, in terms of how these goals are there and how there's such a wide variety of them that even if the thing that you want gets taken, there's probably a pretty good backup option for you to take as well. So I really like that goal system, and I like this activate more than one room of your building if you have workers in it action system in Carnegie as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on Carnegie. I believe it's still on Kickstarter for another day or so if you want to check it out. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on the game in the comments below if you've had the chance to play it on Board Game Arena. Thanks.